The Dutch kept this African king's head in a jar for 171 years. In 2009, they finally gave it back. This is the story of a king who refused to bow. His name was Badu Bonsu II, chief of the Ahanta people, coastal Ghana, 1838. He didn't rule the biggest kingdom. He wasn't the richest ruler, but he had something the Dutch couldn't break: pride. The Dutch controlled forts along the Gold Coast, trading posts, military stations. They called it commerce, but they wanted more. They wanted submission. They sent two officials to Ahanta territory with a message: recognize our authority or face the consequences. Badu Bonsu gave them an answer, not with words, but with action. The two Dutch officials arrived demanding submission. Badu Bonsu and his warriors met them. The confrontation turned bloody. Both officials killed. It was a declaration, a line in the sand. We will not bow to colonizers. The Dutch were furious. They sent soldiers. They hunted him down. They captured Badu Bonsu and executed him for resisting their rule. But execution wasn't enough. They wanted to send a message. So they beheaded him, preserved his head in a jar, and shipped it across the ocean to the Netherlands. A trophy, a warning, a symbol of what happens when you defy empire. For 171 years, Badu Bonsu's head sat in a medical museum in Leiden, labeled like a specimen, displayed like a curiosity. Thousands of miles from home, thousands of miles from his people, his body buried in Ghana, incomplete, his spirit unable to rest. But his descendants never forgot. Generation after generation, they asked for him back. Return our king, they said. Give him dignity. For decades, the Dutch refused, but the Ahanta people kept asking, kept fighting, kept demanding justice, and finally, in July 2009, the Dutch government agreed. Badu Bonsu's head was flown home to Ghana, welcomed by thousands, returned with full honors. 171 years after they took him, the Dutch thought they'd broken him, thought they'd made an example of him. But they were wrong, because Badu Bonsu's resistance lived on, in his people's refusal to forget, in their fight for justice, in their victory 171 years later. He never bowed, not in life, not in death, and his people never stopped being his people. Subscribe to Afro Lens for the history they won't teach you.